Welcome back to Watching Film and Varnadore Films. I am Seth Varnadore, and I'm a former high school and college football coach. Now I break down film here on YouTube with an emphasis on the Florida Gators, particularly. Um, Not a great game this past Saturday. I said in my Vanderbilt preview that if Florida was clean, I thought they had a pretty good chance to win the game. They were far from clean on both sides of the ball. Penalties, turnovers gave Vanderbilt a bunch of points. There were a bunch of different plays that could have turned the game. It seemed like not a lot of them went Florida's way. And, I thought the defense played pretty well, all things considered. Penalties just kind of extended a bunch of drives. And then you had some really short fields or really no fields at all with the punt being muffed into the end zone. So they played pretty well, I think, on a down-to-down basis for the most part. The offense struggled a little bit more than I thought. Ended up being able to move the ball a little bit, but still struggled at times. So I want to focus on that side of the ball today. So let's take a look at the Florida offense real quick. So we'll start. We're not going to watch every play because not every play is, not necessarily worthy of being broken down. But, some plays it's just kind of ABC, kind of happens, bang, 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 real simple to see. But go through some of the plays in the game, see maybe some missed opportunities, and just explain a few things from kind of a coaching perspective or from a former coach's perspective, especially a guy that's coached quarterbacks before and had to teach kind of run game stuff too. So 2nd and 10 here. I think this first drive for Florida. You got it's a read option, right? You're leaving this backside guy on block, it's so you can read him. So there, that's who I'm reading. So how do you teach it? If this guy kind of slow plays it, where he basically does. So let's kind of take a look at him first. So he kind of slow plays this right here. With in the past when I've taught this, if I had a guy that was not a runner, a more of a pocket guy, just wanted him to make the right decision, I would teach it. If you think the guy can tackle the running back, pull it. If you don't think he can tackle the running back, give it. For a guy like Richardson, I'd be teaching it, and this is how I taught guys who are a little more athletic. If you don't think this guy can tackle you, pull the ball. So right here to me, this guy's slow playing it, and he's got square shoulders, right? His shoulders are square. He's not turned his body and run down the line, right? So if you're looking at shoulders, maybe you say, okay, well, he's got square shoulders, and he's not screaming down the line of scrimmage. This is a give. But here, you see the motion out here has gotten all this attention. I'd be fine with Richardson pulling this thing. If he's going to slow play it, he's still squeezing down a little bit. Pull it. Look at all the room you've got. I'd rather him take that chance and you maybe bust a big one here, right? Because if he pulls it, it's just basically a race to here. These guys are all occupied with the screen outside, right? All these guys are occupied. It's a race there, and the safety has to come down and play. If he pulls it, maybe it's a big play here. But by the letter of the law, by the rule, in his head, he's thinking, okay, this guy's squeezing down, but he's not squeezing down hard. He's slow playing it. I'm going to hand it off. And it's not a bad play, but you see he's still able to kind of this guy's able to get hands on the back because he was still squeezing down, even though he wasn't screaming down the line with his shoulders turned, right? So if you're looking, if you're teaching your quarterback, hey, if his shoulders are square, we're going to give it. Well, he's closing right now. So to me, that's a pull. For a guy like Richardson, that's a pull. If it's me back there when I was playing quarterback, that's a give. But for Richardson, that's a pull. So right here's another one. It looked at first glance like, man, he should have given this one too. But this one is, this one needs to be, this is a correct read here. So you got jet, right? You got the jet read here, or the jet sweep with the power read. So right now you got these two blockers for two guys, but you see you got 1, 2, 3. So who's the read? It's again him. And as he squeezes down here, if this guy squeezes down at all, I'm giving that, right? Because if he's squeezing there, he can't get there. Now, Vandy did this on the backside sometimes where they kind of scrape exchange it, where he would squeeze down and then this guy would go out here. But how can you beat this? And Florida does it later. You beat this kind of play, like this safety flying down and making the play, which is who makes this thing cut back, right? If this safety's not screaming down, he keeps it outside. You beat that with play action, right? You beat that with stalk, go, and he's out. He's down in the middle of the field, right? Jet. So, maybe they had to get rid of some of the jet stuff when Pearsall went out. But that's how you can beat some of that. Or as they've shown this year, have him be the lead, and then he's up the seam, right? They showed that before. So there are ways to defeat that. But this was the right read. Now, it ends up looking like maybe it's the wrong read, but that's just because this guy ends up coming in so far that he gets picked up and logged by this guy. Typically, you're thinking if this ball gets kept, he's out here, and now you're pulling for that guy. But them exchanging gaps, it looks like you end up just logging him. How could you change this down the line? Right? If you want to keep running this and you want to play and they want to play it this way, make him the read guy. And now as he goes out and you get that logged, now that's your pull. But that's not how they had it schemed up. And that was a correct read. Just, if he's able to get his foot in the ground here and get vertical, you got a pretty good play. Or this is where it's the first drive of the game. You're getting information. All right, play action shot off this. All right, so 4th and 7 here, first drive. So what you're trying to do here, you use the motion. You're trying to see who matches the tight end as he goes across. Do they bump the corner out, and now you get a safety on your best receiver here, or who's been your most productive receiver this year, shorter, or they keep the corner on, they bump the safety out. But now you got a ton of room vacated right here, right? So Pearsall's coming across. If you had the safety come here, you've got a vertical there. Pearsall's working across. If it's main coverage, he wins. And then you have another vertical down here at the bottom of the screen that's one-on-one. Richardson decides that hey, take the shot. He could probably put it on Pearsall maybe for the first down, but hey, take a shot. If you deliver an accurate ball, it's a one-on-one shot. Great throw, great catch, easy 4th down conversion. 1st and 10. Maybe you could pull this one, but this is one that I don't. If there's a read component to it, it's hard to say exactly because he's technically the end man, so you think he'd go inside right now. The backside of this, I mean, you're looking, but it's kind of muddled up back here, so I'm giving it. Vandy does a pretty good job on the front side with it here. Makes a good play. And you didn't get a ton of movement. Vandy, one thing they did, and that's something that's given Florida's offensive line some trouble the past couple years. I don't think it's been as bad this year, but I know last year moving up front gave them some issues. Fronts moving, slanting, that kind of stuff gave them some issues last year. I don't know if that kind of creeped its ugly head back in a little bit this week. But Vandy did a pretty good job. But Florida had some opportunities to make some big plays in this game and didn't. This one's interesting. I don't know if there is a throw option off of this or not. But here's another one. He's starting to look back. I thought they'd shown it in the past where he can carry this out and then bubble. If he pulls this thing and throws it out there, right, that's easy money. But again, I don't know if that's part of the play. Now, they basically see this, right? So this is good coaching right here. You see this. And so if it wasn't part of the play, I see this. Okay, look how this motion, he got across pretty easy. Up front, just getting beat across face, right? On the backside here, you get some decent movement here, but on the backside, I think your tackle and the wing here both get beat across face. There's nowhere for the ball to cut back to because the backside just got caved down here. So that's where you go for no gain. But here, this is a great call. Anticipating blitz here. So anticipating man coverage as well. There's a tight end. One of these two has got him man. One of them's got the back, you would assume, right? Even if they have back across. This back's going to get caught up in traffic. Coming across here with a blitz, it's a perfect call. Right here. They're inside. You got the tight end coming back across as well. But right there, man, so this is kind of a different way to run mesh almost. They're basically running mesh, and you got the back. Instead of the back going out here, you have him come across. So basically, mesh. We see this later in a different form, mesh. And then he's coming back across this way. Great call. If you anticipate the blitz here, good job by Richardson. Kind of moving, delivering a good ball. You see the back kind of gets his head upfield a little too early. If he just catches this thing, he walks in the end zone. So, unfortunately, there's a miss. There's 4 points missed right there, turning this into a field goal instead of a touchdown. You lose by 7. That changes up the math a little bit at the end of the game. You have a chance to kick a field goal to tie instead of having to score a touchdown to tie, right? So, next drive, get the ball back here. Great start. Just nice, easy curl route. The motion widens the safety out. Get a nice window off the play action. If you watch the preview, we talked about these guys being really aggressive to run. And there being windows in the intermediate passing game would be open. Here it is right here. They're aggressive for run. That means there should be some big windows behind them in front of these defensive backs that are keeping the top on the defense there. So that's a big window right here. Right, big window. Getting a lot of space between the second and third level of the defense. Easy throw, easy catch right there, first down. Here's another one where kind of letter of the law. This may be a correct read. Right. He's slow playing. I'm also not sure exactly why. If you got 2 down here, right, probably corner up, he's inside. So as I motion this guy out, as he starts to widen, I guess he eliminates that, right? You eliminate that throw. You got tackle over, I believe, here. Yeah. Tackle over. So maybe there's not a read component. They've read the backside of tackle over before. But to me right here, if he slow plays this, again, it's a race to here. I'm not mad if he pulls it. Is it an incorrect read? No, by rule, I don't think it is. This guy's not flying down the line of scrimmage like he's going to make the play, right? But then you have don't get a ton of movement here up front. You see, you get the center gets pressed back a little bit here. He gets right in the nose, gets right in his hip pocket. The guard tries to push this thing on, but then he's not able to kind of get up and cut off the backer here. If he's able to get up and cut off the backer after he pushes that, he does a good job pushing that thing on. Maybe you can get vertical right there. But this thing gets strung out pretty good, and you have no chance. Whereas I'd feel better right here, his chances of winning one-on-one versus an end, I'll take that. I'm probably going to pick up a couple yards on first down. Letter of the law, probably not a bad decision, but maybe not the one you'd like him to make. Here, he threw out of – so a lot of people were talking about how many pass attempts there were. Some of that was game state. Some of that is him, the quarterback, just pulling the ball on run plays and throwing it out to numbers. And the ones I charted, I think every decision he made was correct on these. You got to trust the receivers to do a better job on the perimeter in terms of blocking. But by numbers, these are correct decisions. Right here, this guy's coming on the blitz right there. Throw right behind his head. I got a numbers advantage out here. Right, if I catch this one, I got him blocked. Now I can take most dangerous. It's either going to be him or the safety back here. But if he catches that, now I got an alley. I'm one-on-one with a safety or just got to beat this guy in a foot race. Should be a nice play. Should be a good play on a 2nd and 10 to get you back into a 3rd and manageable. You drop it. Now you're in third and long. Here's another. So you have a decent concept here on 3rd and 10. You got a drive concept where he's going to be pushing to the 1st down marker on a dig route. He's going to come underneath on a shallow, and then he's going to run like a slot fade almost. Richardson ends up taking the slot fade. Right here, as you see him starting to work to this shallow, this will come open behind it. But you also, like this, you win right here. It's 3rd and 10, but that guy wins. If you deliver a ball like you did on the 4th down on the previous drive, you've got a chance for a big play right here. So that's not a bad decision. You take that one-on-one. One-on-ones down the field are fine. That's what you're trying to manufacture those. So not a bad decision. Even though it's 3rd and 10, you could stick with the concept in here. This guy probably will spring open, but that's okay. Put it on him. You got a big play. All right, 1st and 10, next drive. Again, to me, this is a throw out of a run play. This is a good decision. This guy is sniffing the run game. And if you don't control him with these kind of throws, he's going to become a factor. And he was a factor for a lot of the day. Why? Because I couldn't, get this going. If I get a little bit more on the perimeter here, like I think what they're trying to do is get this guy reach him. And then now I got the sideline, and this guy's basically, it's a race between me and this guy now. It's one-on-one. Doesn't quite get this reach. So to me, this is the right read. He's got an option. He could hand the ball off on the run play here, or he can throw it out here. I think he makes the right decision. The numbers are there. Reach that, and now it's one-on-one. Doesn't quite get him reached. This guy just beats into the spot right here. Doesn't quite get him reached. Has to cut this thing back. I think where you'd like this thing to happen, ideally, is right here. If I can get him reached, now he can just hit the sideline and go. You don't want to have to cut this thing back inside because you're cutting it back to the pursuit. But again, Vandy's very well coached, so you're going to have to beat them. I don't think typically they're going to beat themselves, right? And that's what Florida had been pretty good at that last few weeks. They just regressed a little bit on Saturday, and some of that may have had to do with a lot more young guys having to play. So here's one that was interesting, right? We showed last on a play previously, Vandy kind of scrape exchanging. So him coming down inside, him over the top, right? Trying to give. So you have the arc here. They're trying to get the quarterback here when they do this to pull it, right? If you're reading the end, right, he's going here. I read this end. He squeezes down. What's that tell the quarterback? That tells him I need to pull this thing. Well, now I'm actually exchanging gaps, and my linebacker is there waiting for you, right? That's what Vandy's plan is. Florida anticipates that. So he's going to go down. He's going to come here. Florida has got a crack block in. So he's going to crack him. And then they're going to bluff this. And I would assume he goes to safety, but it may be just most dangerous. Zone, and then the read portion of it. So he could pull it. Right here, this is when I think he, like by rule, if he's reading him, which I would believe he is, and he comes down this far inside, to me, that's a pull. That's got to be a pull right there. If he's able to kind of win across face here, which he doesn't totally, but that might be enough right here, right? If he comes out flat, he could get a piece of him. He's got his head across, so it wouldn't be a clip. And now he's leading up, and I'm basically one-on-one with whoever's left, right? So to me, this is probably a pull. I think he sees that too. You kind of see him do a little hop here, like, oh, man, probably should have kept that one. Florida ends up blocking this up pretty decent. The back squirts through. And you pick up a decent gain here on first down, right? You pick up about 8 or 9. But, man, you could have had a really big one, I think, here. And what I like to see here is Vandy showed they might scrape exchange, and Florida has a counter for it. You want to do that and bring him over the top? Well, we're going to crack you and then bring this guy out to lead up there. So, basically, he goes inside, and this H-back coming around replaces him, which is cool stuff. Could have been a bigger play here, I think. But still, good run. That's probably the first one that I think is technically incorrect read. I'm assuming the end's the read guy. He goes inside. That's a poor read to me. I thought this was an interesting little change up here. So we know Florida likes to run some flood stuff, 3 levels. So I think it's a post. He's the flat guy. He's going to be the middle guy on a deep crosser, but that's not the new thing. The new thing is this part where I think he's got to sit, and then he can go. And then he's running a crosser back across this way. Got caught up. Mouse got caught up there. He's running back across this way. So you kind of got, like with this crosser, creates a smash over here. So smash to this side. And then to this side, you still got your flood look, your 3-level concept, right? So interesting way that I don't think they've shown a ton of this. They've shown a couple double crosser stuff, I think, in the red zone. They've shown this a few times, but if you get main coverage, right? Look at all the room you've got over here. There's the corner, jumped up on that one. This is coming across. Catches it for a nice gain there on first or on 2nd and 2. You pick up a bunch. So that's pretty nice new wrinkle there. Both guys crossing. If you anticipate main coverage, it can be good. It can be really good against a lot of stuff, especially if they want to try to, play the crossers. You have 2 coming back kind of opposite directions. I think the safeties almost have to exchange responsibilities here. Right, so that's interesting. So here's the one where just before here, he looks out. He's got his head turned this way and looks to the ref. I never saw him give a signal, though. Give a signal. If he's lined up back there, but he gives a signal to the ref will tell him to move up or tell him he's good, right? I didn't see him give a signal, so definitely not a bogus penalty, but it's unfortunate because you do a pretty good job here. It really just get this thing washed down. The backers get a little overzealous, and then a really good job kicking that guy out on the split zone. So good job getting your head across, getting this gap open. Interestingly enough, it certainly looks like you also have that if you want it. The way they fill, you could probably pull it and throw that thing, but not a bad decision to give here either. I just thought it was interesting. It looked like it was an RPO there, which, if we talked about how heavy they feel for run, I thought would be part of the plan, and it looks like it was. 2nd and 10. Come back with the split zone look again. They end up playing a little different, almost playing like a tight front here, almost, where it looks like you have, it could be a bare front. It's hard to tell if these guys are on 3s or 4 eyes, but really these guys are functionally playing at the line of scrimmage. And the way, so if I'm here, I'm looking to kick out the end man typically in split flow. So he's down, and now I'm bringing this guy ends up coming off the edge here. So it's hard to kind of adjust to that and kick him out square because I really got to be flat down the line here. So he's able to kind of beat me inside here. He gets a cross face as well. There's not really anywhere for this thing to go. And again, it's just the back side here. You got to get that reached, and you got to get that kicked. Weren't able to do it. Vandy kind of beats him to the spot. Minimal gain on 2nd and 10. So they got 3rd and 8. This is one I wonder, because it looked like Napier, when they cut him on the sideline on this, looked like almost like he thought he had something, because he looked pretty frustrated after this one. It's hard to tell on this angle. I wonder if there is a slant or something here. You can't see, so I can't say for sure. But if there is, that would probably be open, right? They brought this. If there's a slant, you see it's man coverage. If there's a slant, there's definitely going to be a hole here. But this thing happens so fast. He gives it. You got this guy filling. You got the safety down, right? So I wonder if there's an RPO element off of this to the backside that we can't see. Otherwise, not your best call here on 3rd and 8, unless you've got something coming into this hole maybe. Still, it would have to happen fast, but at least you'd have a chance. All right, 1st and 10. This is a great job, and then you get a kind of a silly penalty after the play. But, I mean, you blocked this up really well. You arc that. So you arc this, kind of end up where this guy's unblocked. And now you're able to get, you got a double here. You're doing a good job there. You get a hat on a hat. Allows the back to get vertical, right? So a little bit of a different wrinkle somewhat, the way Vandy was playing this look. So you're able to kind of reach past this guy. The 3 outside there. He's here. Kind of the split flow here. Slows him down a hair. And the back's able to kind of beat him before he can get back through the trash there for a big gain. And then you blow it right there. So you basically get a 15-yard run and give it right back. Here, just missed on the 2nd level. Again, you have a pretty good job here. Torrance doesn't miss much, but right here he's going for the 2nd level here. Just loses the guy. If he gets him blocked, like if it stops right there and that's where this ends, you got kind of a hat on a hat right here. You're in pretty good shape. You'll see he just kind of loses him, which happens. I mean, it's going to happen. Not everybody's perfect. And then this play is a loss instead of what could have been a pretty good gain. Just right here, I think you'd feel pretty good with how this guy's played all year. So, unfortunately, it turns into a 1-yard loss instead of a bigger play. 3rd and 3 here. I'm going to go with the mesh. Using the tight end as one of the mesh guys is kind of interesting here. You're going to wheel him out, I believe. I think they're probably trying to get this one coming back across, right? Make him run through a lot of traffic, get the wheel to open up some space over here. Not the cleanest mesh here. They teach it sometimes. You want these guys close enough to high five, right? So I'm not sure who's at fault here. If he's setting it and he needs to run tighter to him, because you want this guy to kind of have to jump out of the way or jump over the top, right? If you watched the Sunday night football game that just ended, Kansas City scored on this at the end of the game. They didn't clip this guy coming back, but they got him to move out, to kind of stop his feet and move out of the way. So I think they're trying to get him coming back across. And by the way, if Bernie held, this is holding right here too. If what Bernie got called for later in the game is a hold, this is also a hold. They look identical. But, the tight end coming across is probably not going to get as much separation as a receiver. This mesh is not super clean here. You probably want them tighter. A lot of the air raid guys, when they practice, will have these guys close enough where they can high five, and they'll actually high five each other in practice as they go by. So that's how close you want them. You want them close. You want a little bit of a rub there. I'm not sure who's setting this, but they're not super close, and you end up getting that where neither defender really has much trouble through here. All right, so third quarter, first play of the second half. Some of the read stuff, you see they didn't run a ton of it, but some of it you thought, okay, well, maybe Richardson, could have pulled that here. Here you're going to force the issue. You're just going to call a run play. And here's another one. If he gets this hooked, you've got a good play because he's going to get the safety. And you see the motion's got the safety here. They're going to have this pin. You're going to get Richardson one on the corner. If you can get this guy hooked, the back is unable to get that guy hooked here. Maybe Richardson could have cut this up in here. But, man, if you just hook this dude, maybe you want him cutting this up. But if you hook him, you got the sideline one-on-one with the corner. That's a pretty good play. Regardless, the guy makes a good tackle, but you still pick up 7 yards on first down. There's nothing wrong with that. Here's one where, I'm not sure if if you're reading this, if this guy's supposed to bluff and go here, I would think so. He blocks him. So Richardson decides to keep it. But again, here's that kind of, he's going to squeeze down and he's going to come up and fill, right? So I would think you'd rather have that, kind of bluff it and arc for him instead of here. But hey, these are the ones where it's like, okay, Richardson, you keep it, you still pick up 2. If these things are dead in the water in the backfield, they're not getting a ton. You're getting, sometimes no gain. I'd rather him keep it for no gain 3 times to break off the 4th one for 60 than hand off some borderline ones and pick up 2 or 3 yards with the backs, right? 3rd and 2, good design, good call on the boot, good timing of the call on the boot as well. Right, we talked about how nosy these guys are for run. Well, you're going to get that crosser coming across here. Opens it up. Catchable ball. Could have been a better ball, but you just need to pick up the first down. Good job. Goes down and gets a good catch. 1st and 10. Little wide crosser. This is good stuff right here to stack them. He's the crosser. He's the dig. He's going to be the flare. They turn like a screen. He's also running the go. So you get the safety turns here. The crosser's coming across here. He sees this safety come to take it. He's coming to take this crosser away. What should that open up? The hole for the dig. Bang, he takes with the crosser. Turn your eyes there. Perfect. Really good stuff right here from Richardson. So this is, you see a lot of good stuff. And then the play action paired with it as well. Right there. Eyes from the crosser. Bang, hit the dig behind it. Perfect. Good timing, everything. Great job. You see a lot of good stuff. 2nd and 15. So this is something to note for later on. And some teams will do this. Sometimes off these motions, these jets and these orbits and stuff, teams will start blitzing off the backside of them. Vandy started bringing some pressure off the backside of these motions. Something to note, I think, for future play here. But not a bad decision. Step up, try to throw it out there. Good kind of presence of mind. Probably could also just taken off with it, step up and just take off, but not a bad idea to whip it out to that guy who's out there. All right, so 3rd and 15. Motion the back out. To me, you motion the back out. If a linebacker goes with them, this thing's on to me. If he's running a go, that's an option. But really, what are you trying to do? Let's see who goes out. Right here, he goes out. Look where that opens up. That opens up a nice big window right here to attack with a slant. If I know I'm in 4-down territory, I can attack that window with a slant. Up here, I have kind of a spacing concept to the flat, and then he's vertical. Probably could have hit the tight end as well for a decent bit of yardage, right? Making him run through this curl window. He's turning and running with the go. So you have some room there as well. You probably could have thrown to, but take it backside, which is fine. Receiver gets bent, folded up a little bit, but holds on to get you in 4th and 8. So here's another one where you end up going to the go route here. But you have a concept called that's going to win right here as well. So I believe he's going to kind of spray release, outside release, get vertical. And I believe he's got a dig or a curl right here in this window. So it's almost like drive. He's going to take the shallow across here, and he's going to wheel. So similar to the 4th down call earlier, where he threw this one to Bowman. But if he works at concept here, he's got, I think, an easy completion. So let's watch the concept side down at the bottom. Right here, he's outside, right? So as I get vertical and get in here, I've got a window if this shallow takes anybody away. So right there, the shallow takes these two away. So you should have a nice window here for this if you want it. He likes to look up top, which is a one-on-one, but you got the safety getting over there. I mean, perfect throw. These are things that excite you. And also, why is he able to have so much room up here? Because you put the formation into the boundary. So look at all the room that this safety has to cover and how wide you can put that receiver now because the formation is down here on this hash. So again, formation in the boundary, you can take that shot up there. But you also, and you can see here's the camera pans. It's hard to see. There's Bowman's helmet right there. So you have some room here to throw. If you want to throw the dig right there or the curl right there, you had that as well. But the safety can't get there because the formation was into the boundary, and he's got to split the difference. So right here's another one that's a read. But, look, you got kind of 2 off the backside now. They're not going to really give you a ton there. So you give it. Not able to get a ton of movement, but you get a decent gain on 1st down. That's all right. There's nothing wrong with that. 2nd down, you go to the Wildcat. Again, if this is split zone, you got to get your helmet inside, kick him out. Can't let him beat you across face like this, right? Should have that kicked and him trying to get over the top here. So now the back has to bounce to this backer. Whereas if you look here, if this guy's kicked out and he's going around, the back just hits it right up in there. So Vanderbilt did a good job up front, man. They did a good job moving. Their guys are disciplined and play well. So you get a 3rd and goal, right? We talked about some teams when you start the motion, they'll bring pressure off the backside. Well, guess what? They brought it. Florida anticipates it. Great job by Richardson getting his head around and not taking a sack or kind of turtling up here, getting the ball out of his hands. And the back makes sure he catches it before he turns upfield this time. Easy touchdown. But that's just kind of earlier. Right, earlier in the drive, you see them bring this pressure off the backside of the motion, and now you take advantage of it. Didn't like this one. I'm not sure what the idea is here. I mean, I kind of get the idea tangentially, but there's not a ton. I guess he's kind of most dangerous depending on – I would assume you think you're going to get man. So I guess he's going to push crack this, and you hope he follows him. But – he didn't really, off the snap, you think he'd want to be getting further inside to really get him to come inside. You don't get a ton of, inside there. And then this ball, not the best throw, gets tipped, it looks like, right? But this guy's shooting the gap there. Get this thing over him. If you're able to get that pinned and he's playing man and he goes inside with him, that's the idea here. As you catch it, he goes inside. He's trying to get over the top and you block him. Easy money. Throw's not there. Didn't quite get a good enough crack block either, I think. But all right, so another way to run flood. They like running flood. Post here, especially you've been running a little, you've been running a little drive toward this guy. It's not a total 1-to-1, but this guy runs a ton of shallows, which he's run some shallows, and this guy runs some digs, which they've run some digs, right? Well, then what do you do off that? Let's make it look just like that. You still got your post. You're going to turn like you're running a shallow, and now you're going to pivot back out. You're going to run like you're going to run a dig, and now you're going to get back out. And now we're running flood back here. But make it look like it's something else, and then there's my flood. So if you don't like the post shot here, which you're fine taking the post shot, you would have had him if you wanted it. Take the post shot. This is one where, and you see that he did it earlier. He made the catch, but on the sideline, might want to go up and high point that. Don't let it get to your body down here. Go up and high point that thing, strong hands, then bring it into your body. Let it get to your body. This guy's got a chance to make a play on it. Maybe go up and high point that thing. 2nd and 10 after you take a shot. Again, correct read here. This is the right read. This guy is nosy. He's not in there. This guy's, 10 yards off the ball. He doesn't count. If I get that guy blocked, man, I've got something here. Just, man, you get beat to the spot, don't get the block, and you pick up nothing on what should be. This should be like easy 5 or 6 for you every time. So now you put yourself in a 3rd and 10. It looks to be all curls. You can kind of see the shadows up top. The curl up top gets loose. Maybe anticipating some more zone here, or just the guys that can win on the curl routes. Down here, he runs just to go. I don't know if this is like being read, and maybe he should break it off here. You can see up top. It's hard to see, but you see feet going. Bang, he breaks it off. So there's the DB's feet right there. There's receiver's feet coming back. You can see his hand even right there as well. He's falling down, so this curl gets open up here. This one gets open a little late over the ball. Richardson's kind of looking over the ball. Doesn't like it. But hey, man, right here, like, unless I know I'm going to throw it, cancel one of these out, look outside. If it's not there, just take off. Like, you're not going to have too much time on these. And then you try to make a play here. It backfires on you. This is kind of fluky. Not too much you want to say about that. It's kind of just fluke. But not the best combination against man coverage. Maybe it seems like the anticipated zone there. But you still, it's a couple guys get open. So 2nd and 8. This is another one. If you're reading it, you got eyes here. You get these 3 playing out here. And this guy, right? Who ends up making the tackle here? The guy we were reading. If he makes the tackle, probably wasn't the right read. This thing gets pulled. Again, it's a race. Is this a huge gain? I don't know, because they kind of have a vice on this thing a little bit, but it's probably more than a 2-yard gain, I'd imagine. So anyways, you kind of get, or a no-yard gain is what they call it, a 3rd and 8. So this one, all right, this is what you need to be conscious of here. So there's one here. And this group, this rest of the defensive group for Vandy, everybody else you see, there's 10 more guys, right? Equals 11. So that means this guy is a deep safety on this side. This guy's the deep safety on that side. Here's the corner. The other corner is going to be off screen up top. So this is important. Why is that important? Right. It seems like Richardson looks at the safety here. So right here, ball snap. You bring pressure. It appears he's looking at this safety. This safety comes down. Look at this. Vandy kind of gets cute. And this should be read number one if it's, if it's looks like it's it looks like it's a flood, right? This should be read number one right here. Here, go, and then he's going to be the middle guy. I typically, this stuff's read deep to short. At least that's how I always taught it and was taught, deep to short. So bang, there's the safety, there's the corner. That means this guy that was at the line of scrimmage, watch him. Let's go backwards. He's running the pipe, and he ends up trying to get over the top of this thing because he sees nobody else is there. But, man, there it is right there. Maybe, you say that they're even. He's looking here. There's no demeanor of him pedaling. So right there, you might say, well, the rush got to him. Let that thing go right now. If he's even, he's leaving, all that kind of stuff. Instead, you got to throw it away. And what very well could have been a touchdown right there on 3rd and 8. Fourth quarter now. Right? They did a good job kind of changing up some of their boot stuff. Vandy defended boot pretty well. They did a good job changing it up. Here you get a pivot to the outside. Pick up a nice gain there on 1st down. Then here's those safeties and linebackers being nosy. You get your play action shot over the top. Great ball. And you'll see this is really good design from this view right here. He's going to make sure to inside stem right at the safety. Capture his eyes. Capture this safety's eyes. He's an inside stem as well. This safety comes up for run because he's getting nosy. And now he's over the top, right? Really good stuff. So let's watch it here. Or not even the safety. The safety kind of comes out, starts to move out with the motion kind of post-snap. Capture his eyes right here. And now as he steps up, it's a race there, and you got leverage. So, right, he doesn't get in the play because I capture his eyes with this route. Get over the top. Great throw by Richardson. Great throw. And good job here by Reynolds, I believe, to finish it off. So here's your 2-point play. As good as the throw was on the last one, this one could be a little bit better. Bang, put it on him. You got all this room to throw it. You don't need to throw it on the line. Throw it right on the line. He gets underneath it. Good play by 13, but I think a better throw here. You get what you want there. It's a pick. You get what you want. Put it on him. Right here, next drive, I think this is this post interception perhaps. You pick up 7. First play. So second down rather than 3. He's waiting for this deep crosser to come open. You have a shallow crosser that would pick up the 1st down, and you also end up getting the check down here. So this is one and this is, I think, getting experience as a quarterback. You just got to learn when to cancel stuff sooner. So right here, don't wait for the deep crosser, cancel it. Drop it down to the shallow, or if you don't like that, drop it to your check down right here. What you don't want to do is kind of wait forever for the deep crosser to come open when you could have given it here. It seems like you certainly could have given it here for the 1st down, and instead you wait for this guy to come open where it looks like he's got 2 on him, and you throw it away, right? Cancel it sooner. Understand that as long as I wait, it's not going to come open. Cancel it, check down to somebody else. All right, 3rd and 3. This is another one where is there something attached to the backside we can't see? Because otherwise, this one, Vandy catches him in kind of a run stunt here where he's crossing face. He gets him to take it, and then he's going to come back inside. Good job by them. Good call. So you see how he runs through there. So he's turning to push him flat, and then this guy's going to jump back inside. That's tough to deal with right there. So good call by them. And you just got to tip your cap sometimes. Pretty good call in this situation. Tough if you're running that zone look right there. Now 4th and 3. So, all right, so this is one where you end up taking a shot here, but what are you trying to do? So I got Shorter in the slot. So who's covering him, a corner or a safety? He motions across. After he motions across, this guy ends up covering. He's a safety. So Shorter's probably my best, most consistent receiver. You see they're communicating. Is he going to bump the corner out or is he going to go out? So the corner stays on the slot. The safety's on Shorter. To me, if I'm the quarterback, I'm thinking, all right, I got a safety on my best receiver. He's going to run a curl. I think they both might run curls here, but easy first down, one-on-one. I need 3. It's 4th and 3. Here, you take a shot. All right, it's one-on-one, but you got to give him a chance here, right? It's hard to see, but let's watch in slow motion here. Let's see if we can see Shorter's feet up here as the ball sails. Bang, there's Shorter sitting on the 20. Doesn't seem to be anybody around him. There's the DB closer to the 20. There's his feet closer to the 24. That's probably enough room for you to fit that on him for an easy first down. Instead, you take a shot over the top and you miss. Give up a field goal, which ends up being kind of important. Great throw here. Hard to tell if it's a curl or an out, but good throw. Good timing. Let it rip. Bang, perfect. 1st and 10. I like this, right? You escape, use your athleticism. Don't just run out of bounds, right? Keep trying to run. Great run. Great plays back-to-back here. 1st and 10, I love this one too. Maneuver in the pocket. Again, it looks like they're running wide cross again. I'd assume he's here. Right, wide cross. You see it all over the place. You see it in the NFL. You see it everywhere. Great job. Bang. I don't like anything. Drop it to the check down. Perfect. Now look what it can happen. You drop it to your check down. He makes some stuff happen because he's a pretty good player too, right? So, hey, man, sometimes you just drop it to that check down. Let him run. Great job. That's what you like to see. Those are kind of you're growing, right? Drop it to that check down. We saw just the drive before. He didn't drop it to the check down. Drop it to him. All right, so we got 2nd and 10 here. Good design. Motion him in. You kind of see you're getting man coverage. You got blitz. You've got him coming across. He's coming back across this way. He's almost going to be to the corner. I think he's like a snag type route, if I recall correctly. Or he's got the curl. So he's coming across. He's running dig. He's running the corner. And then you got him coming across here on like a deep crosser, right? Great throw. Good design. I mean, look how open this guy gets. Because the corner runs with him. And that's all. You can see it all pre-snap from the motion. Got him. Good throw. Just got to finish it. And he gets another chance. So here's 3rd down. Motion out, you get to see. And this is one you want to talk about, like cancel it sooner. Or this one's a little bit quick here. I believe this is curl. 1st down was one not pictured here. You could have canceled a little sooner. This one here, this is one where I just know I got to know, right? If I'm quick, if I have to be quick here, where do I want to throw this thing? He's coming right here. And if I'm getting blitzed from here is why I got to be quick with it. I don't know if they have hot routes, but that would be – there's a good outlet because this guy's not even turned when I want to throw this thing. If I just – I'm going to look here and just drop it there, this guy's ready for it. You know, he could take this and maybe score with it. I throw it here. He's not quite ready. He's got to get there and turn his head around too. I throw it there, miss outside. When, hey, if you feel that blitz coming, well, here's a nice little outlet right here. Just drop it to him, let him run. 4th down, same kind of look here as the previous one. Instead of motion the back end, they motion receiver across. Again, you got, it looks to be man coverage. You get a blitz. Bang, he runs with him. You got the same thing. You got all that room for him to win. He wins. Nice throw. Good catch in a little tougher circumstance here. Same play as the play on 2nd down. just execute it better. So, like, when if you think it's all the play calling, well, here's a scenario where they call the same play twice. First play, the guy drops it. It's not a good play. Second play, the guy catches it. All right, it's a touchdown. Right, same play, nothing changed. All right, and then the end of the game here, last drive. This one, it's hard. You can kind of see it here, but it gets tipped. This one's probably a little forced. Maybe check this one down to the back, let him get out, pick up 5, 6, get out of bounds here. It gets tipped, but, that's going to be a tight window right there. Second down, you try to drop it down to the back here. Put a little bit too much on it. A little too much on it. And then that's probably not the play you want with 40 seconds and no timeouts right there. It's not quite. I think the last one they all dropped off and there wasn't a corner over there. Here, he's kind of sitting out there. Now, maybe he was off screen as well. But that's really not what you want there. 3rd and 10. Do a good job of kind of hitting this crosshair coming across here. And then I'm surprised this one didn't get looked at for targeting, because that's got to be directly to the head right there. But they don't look at it. Would have been helpful. An extra 15 would have been helpful. Again, this is probably not worth the time here. But I get, if you're just trying to get out of your hands early, not worth the time to probably get that yardage. This is a great throw right here. This is a laser beam to a route up the seam. Great job. You clock it. And this is one you just got to have a better throw here. You get lucky. The ref calls you out of bounds. I think he forgot he was reffing college football. So he calls this one out of bounds. But, man, this guy's going to give you room. Give him a chance to get out of bounds here. And then it also gives – what else does it give you? It gives you a chance to kind of breathe a little bit, get a play set up, not have to rush. And then you get your, Carlton Banks shot here at the end of the game. We've all seen that from the Fresh Prince. So got to keep it in bounds. But there was some good stuff. There was some bad stuff. Obviously, as you saw, a lot of opportunities, I thought, in the game for Florida to do some things. I think at times, especially in the run game, you just would like Richardson to be a little more greedy. He's making, I think, for the most part, he's making correct decisions. So when people say he's just not making the right decision, a lot of times he is. But I'd rather have him be a little greedier. And if it's a 50-50 decision, him keep it, because I think your chance for explosive plays are much better. And I think it'll help open up the rest of the run game. Vandy did some unique stuff up front that gave Florida some problems. You saw that stunt they did, the run stunt, that really takes advantage of zone blocking schemes and things like that. You've got to make them pay when you get your opportunities, so you don't give them a ton of chances to tee off on you with those kind of stunts. But Florida wasn't able to do that. That's why they lost. This was an interesting game. I want, if you play this again tomorrow, I think Florida probably wins it. They just did not play well enough on that day to win the game, and Vandy did. So that's going to happen sometimes, but we'll see. In a few years, we may not even be talking about this game. It'll be interesting to see kind of where things go from here. But a disappointing result, especially when you see kind of how much was left on the field in terms of opportunities to make plays.